we had to do it. We're back with another one. Who we talking about today? Today we're talking about the Mavs and the Nets, and also the Bucks and the Suns. So let's just dive into it, talk about some stats, give you a recap. First things first, we're headed to the BK. We're headed to the BK, and it's going to be Brooklyn and Dallas. Dallas taking the win, 119 to 107. Y'all already know who I'm about to talk about. We're about to talk about Kyrie Irving and the show that he put on last night. He gave the Nets a run for their money, I should say. Oh, I don't even know where to start. Should I start with the points? Should I start with the dunk that he did? So many, I'm trying to say exciting and great at the same time, that happened last night that I love to see. Kyrie, I feel like once he got his first basket, he could not be stopped. Like, he was on fire from beginning to the end. This man did a crazy alley-oop. It was so nice. It's right here. Y'all already know it's right here, but it was amazing to see. And it was just he got up so high, and then the face that he made afterwards, yeah, this is my time. I'm shining right now. I'm not letting none of this media talk, the fans that's booing me right now. They had no choice but to be quiet last night. That's the type of performance Kyrie put on. And y'all already know, I always talk about, I love Kyrie. I love what he stands for. I love him just being strong-minded. He is a leader on and off the court. He's going to do what he feels. No matter what, no one can persuade him anything. He's just his own person, and I just love that about him. But anyways, let's talk into some stats. Him going off for 36 points last night. He had 5 assists, and man, he just had fun doing it. And what I love about Kyrie as well, even after the game, he still shook hands with Royce O'Neal, him and Cam Thomas, they were hugging at the end, because they did form a bond. They were teammates at one point, exactly a year ago. They was teammates. So it was to see that, and just that stand-up type of guy. I love that for him. I don't feel like he had any type of bitterness in his heart, and it showed on the court. It was just he felt like he was back at home, and he says he feel like that for every wherever he plays. So I love that. He had his family there, his friends there, a lot of supporters, and like I said, he shined, and I loved it. When I say that's all I can say, that's all I can say. And now we're just gonna head it over and flip it to Luka. Luka went off last night too. Man, the Mavericks, they were killing it. Luka, he had 35 points. This man had 18 rebounds, and then he had 9 assists, almost a triple-double, just 1 assist away, so not quite there. But even just watching him play last night, you could just tell that he was just having fun. This man was shooting threes from dang near half court, where the Nets logo is. He was shooting a 3 from right there, and he was swish, make it, basket, bucket, just going in. He just started having fun, and I love to see that. Even him just egging on Kyrie in a sense of just giving him that support, laughing with him. They doing, high fives, and they just looked like they had fun last night. And that's the basketball I love. It was a show, and I just kind of felt the game was over before it even started. They had great defense. Don't get me wrong, Brooklyn, they stayed in there. They kind of came back in the fourth quarter. They were down 7 points, but they just could never take the lead. That was the thing. It was no stopping Kyrie. It was no stopping Luka. Tim Hardaway playing great defense. Everybody, Grant Williams, everybody did great last night when it came to the Mavericks. So now we're just going to talk about the Nets, and that's Mikal Bridges going off. He had 28 points last night. So big ups to you, Mikal, hanging in there, standing there, fighting to the very end. I love that. It just wasn't enough. I don't know what is the missing link for the Nets. It just wasn't enough for the win last night. And then the next person I want to talk about, and that's going to be Royce O'Neal coming off the bench, scoring 18 points, and then he had 6 rebounds. And he's kind of known for, to me, I feel like he's known for defense. Even when it was 10 seconds left for the game, and I want to say Luka had the ball, not like full on guarding him, but he was still like in the reach of the ball, like a little bit of guarding him. So like not giving up into the very end. You know what I mean? So I do love that about Royce. Like his defense to me is everything. I feel like that's where he excelled at in the game of basketball, because he was taking some little wonky shots and they just wasn't going in, but that's okay because I feel like his defense made up for it. Who else was some stand-up people last night? Y'all know I'm gonna talk about Cam Thomas. I feel like he did his thing, but nobody. I think Mikal Bridges was the only person that scored over 20 points last night when it came to the game. The energy just from the Mavericks was just top tier, and the Nets couldn't match it. Who else? 3 starters had 9 points last night for the Nets. I think it was Ben Simmons. He had 9 points. Oh, I want to say Spencer, don't quote me, and Nick Claxton, Dinwiddie, and then Ben Simmons all had 9 points. All starters had 9 points. But y'all, that's really all I had to say about the game. It was over before it started. So now we're going to head over to Phoenix, and that is the Suns and the Bucks. Phoenix taking it last night, y'all, 114-106. The only thing that sucked last night, we did not have Dame for the Bucks, so I kind of feel like it wasn't a balance. I'll say that. It wasn't a balance, but the Suns, they took over. The game was a close game the entire game. The only time I feel like the Suns really outscored the Bucks was the third quarter, and I think they outscored them. It was like 24-31, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just dive into it, talk about the game. And that's Doc Rivers. They're 1-4, 1 win, 4 losses with him now. He said that he felt like the offense was not fully there when it came to the Bucks last night as to how they played. He wasn't mad about how they played. He just don't feel like it was just at that level. And then he said he felt like they did great defensively. I agree. They did that because the Suns, they came alive in the fourth quarter. Point blank period. That's just what happened. It was like KD, I think he scored 14 points in the fourth quarter. Just really like back-to-back jumpers, doing his big one. Y'all already know how he do, and I love that for him. But let's just dive into the stats, talk about it. And that's 3 players on the Suns. They had 10 rebounds last night from KD, from Bradley Beal, and I want to say it was Nurkic, if I'm not mistaken. They all had 10 rebounds. So the person y'all know I'm gonna talk about, that's gonna be KD. He had 28 points last night, and then he had 10 rebounds, finishing with a double-double, doing his big one. Like I said, really coming alive in the fourth quarter. It was kind of like a back and forth type of game in that first half, but once fourth quarter came and they took the lead, they kept it. It was like the Bucks, no coming back from that. They just like ran with it, and I love that for them. But I always tell y'all, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. And y'all already know when it comes to the Suns, I always tell y'all, like, I always feel like their energy kind of like died down in the fourth quarter, but it was a total opposite last night, and I love that. And I think they said since January 11th, they have been 11-3, moving up, because I think they're number 6 on the Western Conference. So it's like big ups to y'all doing y'all big one. They started off kind of rocky, but I feel like they're now finding their groove, and I love that for them. And the next person I'm going to talk about, that's going to be D-Book. I am super hyped right now. That's going to be D-Book. He went off for 32 points, and then he had 4 assists last night. So he was one of the starters that did not have 10 rebounds, but did an amazing job, and I love that for him. Like I said, coming alive in the fourth quarter, finishing the game strong, finishing the game with high energy, and that's just what they needed to do to get that win. Because I was like, oh, this is going to be a good game. But now that I know that Dame wasn't there, not saying I don't know what the outcome would have been. We're just going to let the Suns, get this win and be proud of it. I love it for them. So big up to y'all on the Western Conference. And then we're just going to head it over, and we're going to talk about, who we talking about? Giannis, 34 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, doing your big win. For him, always amazing stats. Like, that's really all to say to it. Like, his stats are always up there. He is the leader of the Bucks. He makes the final decision. Whatever the case may be, he does it. And it works for him. They just couldn't get the win last night. So it was like, okay, it's all right. You win some, you lose some. And then we're going to head it over, and we're going to talk about Michael Beasley. He went off for 22 points, and he had 4 rebounds. So Both games last night, very, very exciting. I love watching both of them. KD doing some nasty dunks on Giannis. Kyrie doing dunks. Like, just a great, exciting game from beginning to end. Y'all, that's all I have to say. Y'all already know what I'm about to say. I need y'all to be productive. Yes, that's right. What else? Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, don't forget to turn on your notification bell so y'all can be alerted when I TB post. Once again, I'm TB. Peace out. Bye.